Good day everyone. So today we're going to discuss about introduction of apportionment. So what is an introduction of apportionment or an apportionment? Apportionment is the process of dividing up a fixed number of things among groups of different sizes. So one of its historical application is in politics. Actually, the mathematical investigation into apportionment has its roots in the U.S. Constitution since 1790, when the House of Representatives first attempt to apportion itself. So there is a various method have been used to decide how many voters would be represented by each member of the House. So during that time, there are two competing methods of apportionment. One is proposed by Alexander Hamilton, and then the other one was proposed by Thomas Jefferson. So let's begin with the Hamilton method. So Hamilton method was proposed by Alexander Hamilton. It's also known as the method of the largest remainders. So one of the competing plan of appointment in 1790. It was adopted by the U.S. government in 1852 until 1911. So there is a guidelines of Hamilton rules. So first, they get the lower quota of the group. Next is the standard quota of the group, with the highest decimal part is only rounded up to the whole number if the sum of the lower quota is less than the value A means allocations. So the process is repeated until the value of allocation is reached. So urong na ka kung makuha na nimo ang iya o ang value nga gi-allocate. So the next is the standard quota, is the whole number part of quotient of a population divided by the standard quota. Lower quota is the standard rounded down to the whole number. And then the upper quota is the standard quota rounded up to the next whole number. So there is an example of Hamilton method. So example, the San Francisco Elementary School planned to assign 40 teachers to teach of the grade 1 to grade 6. The number of students in each grade is given into the table below. Use Hamilton method to assign each grade level to appropriate number of teacher. So, amo ni siya ang table. So, grade 1, ara siya enrollment ng 120. Ang grade 2, ara siya 90. Ang grade 3, ara siya 135. Ang grade 4, ara siya 78. And then, ang grade 5 ara siya 200, grade 6 ara siya 77. So ang total enrollment niya kay 700. So giving the formula, so SD is equals to P over A. So SD means the standard divisor. So amo na siyang aton pangitaon. P stand for the total population, and then A is the required allocation of the number of items to be distributed. So like this, ingani siya. So SD is equal to 700 over 40. So, ang iya, standard divisor nga atong gamiton sa table sara, pagpangita sa i-allocate nga maestra. So, 17.5. So, yung ani siya. So, 100, imula na siya i-divide ang 120 over sa 17. So, 120 over 17.5. So ang iya total kay 6.86 gamit ang standard divisor nga gihatag. So ang 90 divide by 17.5, ang answer kay 5.14. And then ang grade 3, 135 divide by 17.5, ang iya standard quota niya kay 7.71. So gamit sini ang 17.5 kay amo na siya atong standard divisor, amo na siya atong divide sa tanan enrollment per level. So amo na ni siya ang standard quota. Ang grade 1 ara siya 6.86, ang grade 2 ara siya 5.14, ang grade 3 ara siya 7.71, ang grade 4 ara siya 4.46, ang grade 5 ara siya 11.43, and then ang grade 6 ara siya 4.40. So next is kay ay na siya. So aton pangitaon ng iya lower quota. So ang standard quota nato amo naman to siya. So amo ni siya diri nga side sa igbaw. Next is the lower quota of 6.86 is 6. We ato na siya i-kuha natin ang whole number niya. So sa grade 1 ara siya 6, sa grade 2 ara siya 5 kay 5.14. And then sa grade 3 ang 7.71 ato siya mo nga 7 kay round may round siya nato to the whole number. So ang grade 4 ara siya 4. Sa lower quota na siya, and sa grade 5 ara siya 11, and sa grade 6 ara siya 4. So ang total niya kay 37. So kuwang gyapon sa gihatag nga number of teachers. So kuwang siya ay 3. So ang aton buhaton pangitaon naton ang pinaka dakoy highest decimal points. So ang aray dakoy points ang ara sang pinakadako nga highest decimal points kay ang grade 1 6.86, ang grade 3 ara siya 7.77. So magkuha tay tulo, and then the last is ang grade 4. So ato ni siya i-round naton siya into plus 1 di ay plus 1 na siya, plus 1. So ang final apportionment naton ang 6 may na siya nga 7. Ang grade 1 ara siya lower quota nga 6, so ang final apportionment kay 7. Ang grade 2 ara siya 5 nga lower quota, so same lang gyapon. Ang grade 3 ara siya 7.71, so usa siya sa i-round up into whole number. So nag plus 1 man kita, so mahimo siya nga 8. And then sa grade 4 same lang gyapon mo plus 1 kay siya man sa usa sa pinakadako nga aray highest decimal point. And then the rest kay same na lang 11 and then 4. So ang total niya kay 40. So insakto na siya sa gihatag nga apportion. So aray maestra sa grade 1 nga 7 ka teacher, sa grade 2 ara siya ibutang nga 5 ka teacher, sa grade 3 ara siya 8 ka teacher. And then sa grade 4 ara siya 5 ka teacher nga ibutang, and then sa grade 5 ara siya 11 ka teacher kay siya ang pinakadamoy enrollment. And then ang grade 6 ara siya 4 ka teacher. So the next method was Jefferson method. So Jefferson method was proposed by Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential statesmen in the formation of government. Was acknowledged as the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. So Jefferson method ara siya guidelines or steps. So the step 1 is compute the standard divisor in the same way as the Hamilton method. So gamit sa tong pagkalkula kang sa standard quota, same lang gyapon aton buhaton kang Jefferson. But step 2 use the modified standard divisor, which is arbitrarily chosen, must be lower than the standard. So kailan ang atong kwaon nga dili siya mo taas sa standard divisor sa Hamilton. So 17.5. So pwede mo gamit kitay 17 or 16.5, basta di lang siya mo dako sa 17.5 kaya lower siya. By trial and error technique, obtain the required apportionment using the assumed modified standard. So gamit ang modified standard divisor, amo siya ang aton gamiton sa table example. So same lang gyapon aton example. So we use the modified standard divisor is 16. So by trial and error, so 16 ang aton gigamit. So ang lower quota niya i-times anay naton, i-divide anay naton ang modified standard divisor sa per level nga enrollment. So sa grade 1 120 divide by 16, so ang tubag kay 7.5. 90 divide by 16 5.63. Grade 3 235 divide by 16 8.44. Grade 4 ara siya 78 divide by 16, so ara siya 4.88. Ang grade 5 ara siya 200 divide by 16, so 12.50 ang iya standard quota. The next is grade 6 77 divide by 16, so ara siya 4.81. So ang iya lower quota atong siya i-round up to the whole number. So ang 7.5 ara siya kuan siya sa lower quota nga 7, so equal siya naton. So sa grade 1 7 ang iya lower quota 7, sa grade 2 5, sa grade 8 sa grade 3 ara siya 8, sa grade 4 kay 4, grade 5 kay 12, and then sa grade 6 kay 4. So, itakdo naman siya sa aton total 40. So, ang aton final apportionment, same ra gyapon sa lower quota. By trial and error, so, kuan na siya, mag-try kay modify standard divisor, basta di lang mo dako sa standard divisor nga gihatag ni Hamilton. So, this is the end of our report. Thank you for listening. Hope nakasabot mo. Thank you.
Hello everyone. This video is a real quick demonstration about the plurality method and the voting works. So, voting theory, plurality method, objectives is define the plurality voting method, determine winners of election using the plurality method. So, plurality voting method. In this method, the choice with the most first preference vote is declared the winner. Ties are possible and will have to be settled through some sort of runoff vote. This method is sometimes mistakenly called the majority method or majority rules, but it is not necessarily for a choice to have gained a majority of votes to win. A majority is over 50%. It is possible for a winner to have a plurality without having a majority. A survey as to rank which cause state people would prefer to live. The result of below, using the plurality method, select the winner. So, you can see the red color, they have a number of votes. So, 75 plus 94 plus 51 plus 12 plus 43 plus 25 equals 300 voters. So, C is California, and O is Oregon, and W is Washington. So, the first choice of votes of California is he got 75 plus 94 equals 169. And the first choice votes of Oregon, 51 plus 12 equals 63. And the first choice of votes of Washington equal 43 plus 25 equals 68. So the most the most voters is California. So California is the first choice winner. He got 169 over 300 voters equals 56.3%. So that's all how to put a plurality method. So that's all.
Hello everyone, my topic for today is about voting theory. For the count method, objective, define word account, determine winner of election using to the word account method. Word account method. Word account is a voting method named after Jean Carlos D. Borda, who developed the system in 1770. And this method points are assigned to candidates based on their ranking. 1 point for last, second point for second to the last choice, and so on. The point value for all ballots are total, and the candidate with the largest point total is the winner. A camping club is deciding with where to go on their next step to preference table is shown below. Artist ang A equal artist, J equal Grand Canyon, Y equal Yosemite, Z equal Zion. Number of voters 12, 5, 4, 9, 16. Since the R four choice, one place get 4 points, second place gets 3 points, third place gets 2 points, fourth place gets 1 points. Voters of a number of voters 12, 5, 4, 9, 6, 12. First choice 4 points 12. Ang Y naman kay 12 times 4 equals 48. Ang G naman kay 5 times 4 equal 20. Ang Z naman 4 times 4 equals 16. Ang A naman 9 times 4 equals 36. Ang A naman kay 6 times 4, 24. Ang Z naman ay 10 times 4 equals 40.
Okay.
Second choice na 3 points. Ang Z nakakuha naman sa 36. Ang Y nakakuha naman sa 15. Ang A naman nakakuha sa 12. Ang Y naman nakakuha sa 27. Ang Z naman nakakuha sa 18. Ang G naman nakakuha sa 30. Third choice 2 points. Ang G na nakuha sa 24. Ang A naman nakuha sa 10. Ang G naman nakuha sa 8. Ang G naman otro nakuha sa 18. Ang Y naman nakuha sa 12. Ang A naman nakuha sa 20. And fourth choice 1 points. Ang A naman nakuha sa 12. Ang Z naman nakuha sa 5. Ang Y naman nakuha sa 4. Ang Z naman nakuha sa 9. Ang G naman nakuha sa 6. And Y naman nakuha sa 10. Number of voters 12, 5, 4, 9, 16. First choice ilang sirkulan nimo ang puro. First choice of artist na I got 8 points. Second choice of artist I got 3 points. Third choice artist I got 4 points. Fourth choice artist I got 1 point. And total of artists 36 plus 24 plus 12 plus 10 plus 20 plus 12 equal 114. First choice of G Grand Carrion is nakuha siya 4 points. Ang second choice of Grand Carrion nakuha siya 3 points. Third siya 3 points. Third choice Grand Canyon is nakuha siya 6 points. Fourth choice Grand Canyon nakuha siya 1 point. Is total is 20 plus 30 plus 24 plus 8 plus 18 plus 6 plus equal 106. First choice of Zion nakuha siya 8 points. Second choice nakuha siya 6 points. Sa third naman kay no points. Fourth choice nakuha siya 2 points. Is total is 48 plus 15 plus 27 plus 12 plus 4 plus 10 equals 116. A happy person is not a person is a certain set of circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set down.
For today is about plurality with elimination method. Each person votes for his or her favorite candidate receive a majority of votes. That candidate is declared the winner. If the no candidates receive a majority, then the candidate with the office vote is eliminated, a new election is held. This process of continues until a candidate receives a majority of the votes. Next is my example table. Number of votes. Una naton buhaton kay aton siya i-plus. Example, 14 plus 10 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1 equals 37. Second naton buhaton kay paon naton ang majority. Aton siya i-divide sa 2. 37 divide 2 equals 18.5. Aton din siya i-run off mong mahimo siya na 19. Then aton naman sunod na buhaton kay kuhaon naton ang middle or balance ang votes. Diri naman kay akong gikuha ang B aton i-plus sa letter D. Mung ang aton A kay 14.
Got 14 votes and B 4 votes and C 11 votes, D have 8 votes. 4 is the lower votes and 8. And next level is A have 14 votes and C 11 votes and D is have 12 votes. In the final round, A had 14 votes and D got 23 votes because they had C and D votes.
Hello, thank you.
Ay, thank you.
Sakto na to. Sino man una sa amon nga to?
Hi, I'm Carl, and this is Andreso. And we're here to explain the pairwise comparison voting method. Yeah. Pairwise comparison voting is also known as head-to-head challenge. It's head-to-head method though. Each candidate is compared to another candidate. A candidate wins to 1 point for a winner. 0 point for a tie. 0 or lose. A candidate with a greatest number of points wins the election. So I'm going to show them an example. So just stay here, okay? Stay here. Oh, hello. Now we have here our preference table, which contains the data from the voters. So candidate A, B, and C, and then the number of voters, and then the rankings. So we have in the preference table we have our candidate A, B, and C. Then so in pairwise comparison method is each candidate will undergo head-to-head or match up to another candidate to win the votings. So whichever candidate has the highest points wins the votings. So example, candidate A needs to go to a matchup or need to have a matchup with other candidates. So we have to candidate A versus B and C. Candidate A versus B. Candidate A and B. So we have here. In order for the candidates to gain points, they must have the higher numbers of voters. So For example, candidate A and B. Candidate A got, and the number of voters of 7 got first, while candidate B got third. In that case, candidate A got the number of votes of 7 because candidate A has a higher ranking than candidate B. So another one to number of voters of 5 is still A and B. Candidate A got second, while candidate B got third. So in that case, number of votes goes to candidate A, which is 5. Now, candidate A and the number of voters of 11 got first, while candidate B got second, which means candidate A goes to numbers of voters goes to candidate A, which is 11. So there's no need to calculate it because we knew that candidate A stumps candidate B and the votes of the number of voters. So candidate A got 1 point. So let's do head to head against the C, which is candidate A versus candidate C. Candidate A got first in the number of voters of 7, while candidate C got second, which means candidate A still got the number of votes of 7. So another one is candidate A got the number of votes. Oh no, in the number of votes of 5, candidate A got second, while candidate C got first. So in this case, candidate C got the number of votes of 5 because candidate C has the higher ranking than candidate C. Oh, candidate A. Candidate A. So candidate A now has 7 number of voters, while candidate C got number of voters of 5. Another one. And the number of voters of 11, candidate A got 1, while candidate A got first, while candidate C got third. So this case, candidate A still got the number of votes of 11 than the number of votes then the third place of candidate C. So candidate A got the number of votes of 18, while candidate C got only the number of votes of 5. So that means candidate A got another points from the matchup. Now candidate A got 2 points from winning from candidate B and C. Now let's move on to another matchup, which is candidate B against candidate C, which is the last matchup. Because candidate B already matched up with A, then candidate C already matched up with A also, and the only matchup left is the candidate B versus candidate C. So in the number of votes of 7, candidate B got third, while candidate C got second. Now the number of votes of 7 goes to candidate C. Then and the number of votes of 5, candidate B got third. Then candidate C got first. So the number of votes of 5 goes to candidate C. And then the number of votes of excuse me, and the number of votes of 11, candidate B got second, while candidate C got third. And that means candidate B got the number of votes of 11. Now we need to total each candidate number of votes and determine who is the winner of this matchup. So candidate B got the total number of 11, while candidate C got 7 plus 5 equals 12. That means candidate C won and got 1 point. But that doesn't change anything because candidate A already got 2 points while candidate C got 1 and B got none. So yeah, the winner of the votings in my example here is the candidate A that got 2 points. So yeah, that's it. Oh, what are you doing here? I told you to stay. I am bored. I need the title with you. So 1v1. Let's head back to our living room. So yeah, that's how you do the pairwise comparison voting method. It was fun. Pairwise 1v1 challenge. That's basically it. You just count the number of voters, or if it's higher than the other candidates, which means that candidate won or got 1 point, and whichever candidate got the highest points won the edge.
didn't know helpful. That's make me sad.
So basically that's it. Thank you for listening, and once again I'm Carl, and this is
Andres.
and that's the end of our explanation about the pairwise comparison.
Weighted voting systems. Examples of weighted voting systems are Electoral College, United States Security Council, dictatorships, and NOM. We're going to take a look at voting situations in which voters are not necessarily equal in terms of the number of votes they control. To make things simple, we are only going to look at a note which only involves two choices, referred to in your book as a motion. So, dapat ako, saan ako mag-vote? Next is players, the voters, denoted as P1, P2, and P3. Amoy na ang mga examples ng players. Weight, the number of votes each players controls, denoted as W1, W2, W3 stands for weight. Quota, the minimum number of votes needed to pass a motion. Note, the quota does not have to be a majority of votes. Any number may be chosen as the quota as long as it is more than half the total number of votes, but not more than the total of votes. A player whose weight is bigger than or equal to the quota. Player nga dako pa sang timbang kaysa quota, may siya ang dictator. Note, whenever there is a dictator, all the other players, regardless of their weights, have absolutely no power. Such a player is called a dummy. So, bali daw, ang note dira, bali kung tawag man na absolutely no power, so ano siya fuse. Notation and examples. Standard notation. The quote is given first, followed by the respective weights of the individual players. Example. This is a weighted voted system with 12 players, or player 1, player 2, player 3 until player 12. So the quota is 25. Then the player 1 has 8 votes. Then the player 2 has 6 votes. And the player 3 has 5 votes, and etc. Power index. Some basic definitions. Coalition. Coalition is any set of players that might join forces and vote together. So, example sino kay ako player 1, siya player 2, so iupod kami nga do, so bali usa na kami ka team. Next is weight of the coalition. So weight of the coalition is a total number of votes controlled by a coalition. Note, some coalitions have enough votes to win and some don't. We call the former winning coalitions, the latter losing coalitions. Notation. Player 1 and Player 2 is the coalition consisting of the player P1 and P2. We will be looking for players whose desertion turns a winning coalition into a losing coalition. These are called critical players. Banzhaf's key idea is that a player's power is proportional to the number of coalitions for which a player is critical. Finding the power index of player P. So step 1, make a list of all possible coalitions. We have a weighted voting system. 6 is the quota. Ang coalition weight sang P1 kay 4. So bali pildi na siya kay 4 daman siya. Wa man siya kaabot sa quota. 6 man ang quota. Then ang player 2, ang iya coalition weight kay 3. So pildi gyapon ni na siya kay wa man siya kaabot sa kuan sa quota nga 6. So bali ang P3 kay ang iya coalition weight kay 2. So pildi gyapon na siya kay wa man siya kaabot sa sa quota. And so on. Step 2. Determine which of them are winning coalitions. So the winning coalitions are player 1 and player 2, player 1 and player 3, player 1, player 2, and player 3. Step 3. In each winning coalition, determine which of the player are critical player. So the winning coalitions are player 1 and player 2, player 1 and player 3, player 1, player 2, and player 3, critical players. So ang critical players sang player 1 and player 2, amo lang gyapon player 1 kag player 2. Then ang sa player 1 kag player 3, amo lang gyapon player 1 and player 3. Then ang sa player 1, player 2, and player 3, ang iya critical players kay player 1 da. 4. Count the total number of times player P is critical. So, bali ang P1 kay na-critical siya ka tulo, then ang P2 na-critical siya ka usa, kag ang P3 kausa dalat. Step 5. Count the total number of times all players are critical. So, bali ang iya, all total numbers of critical is 5. Step 6. Power index for each player is given by B over T. B stands for critical and T stands for total number of critical. So, bali ang P1 is 3/5, P2 is 1/5, P3 is 1/5. We refer to the complete listing of Banzhaf power indexes as the Banzhaf power distribution. It is common practice to write power indexes as percentage rather than fractions. So for example, atong player 1, di ba ang iya dito kon answer sa step 6 kay 3/5. So equivalent na siya sa ang 3/5 into 60%. Then ang player 2, 1/5 man to siya. So equivalent na siya sa 20%. Then ang player 3, 1/5 man to. Amo lang gyapon, same lang sila, 20%.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to explain about weighted voting system. A weighted voting system within voters is described by the set of numbers that are listed in the following format. Quota. Weight of voter 1, weight of voter 2, weight of voter n. The quota is the number of votes necessary in the system to get a resolution passed. The numbers that follow, called weights, are the amount of votes controlled by voter 1, voter 2, and etc. So, a quota is the number of votes needed to pass a measure. The quota must be over half the total weights and cannot be more than total weight. The weight of voters is the number of votes controlled by the voter. So, for example, ari 100, dapat tungaon ni na siya nimo. So, bali ang katunga kay 50. So, the quota must have 51, 52, 53, and so on. That not greater than that not greater than to 100. For example, a company has 4 shareholders. Mr. Eds has 35% ownership. Miss Mrs. Miss Silang has 20%. Mr. Ramel has 31% ownership, and Miss Malu has 14%. There is a motion to decide where best to invest their savings. The company's bylaws define the quota as 59%. So the question is, what does what does this voting system look like? So the quota here is 59. So the weight 1 is 35%, the weight 2 is 20%, the weight 3 is 31, the weight 4 is 14. So if we combine the 35 and 20, so must be total of 55. So si Mr. Ed and Miss Silang is the total of, ang total nila nga duwa is 55%. So wa man siya kaabot sa 59 nga kuta. So magpuno kita kay Miss Malu ay Mr. Ramel, which is 31, kay nakadepende man gud ni siya kung dili gani makaabot siya sa kuta, pwede ka maka-add sang number depende sa given. So